Hey everybody, today I want to talk to you about my life in review here in the Philippines and how my life has changed so much for the better, maybe, but I believe it has. So we'll talk a little bit about the good, the bad, and some of the ugly. But back in 2015 is when I decided I was coming to the Philippines, and that's when I started all my plans. I was working in Las Vegas, living a miserable life, working, 12-hour days, 6 days a week, making good money. But the dating life sucked, and that was back when I was a good-looking young man. And now that I'm old and I'm not that good-looking, the dating scene even got worse in the 2020s. So I retired in 2019, was coming to the Philippines. My mom's husband passed. I decided I'd spend the winter with her in Albuquerque in the mountains. And next thing you know, COVID hit, and we all lost 2 years of our life. So in February of 22, I came over to the Philippines. And really, I didn't have a girlfriend at the time. There was a couple girls I met online, and I lived in Panglao, in Bohol. And I was able to decompress. I lived on the beach. I walked about 6 miles every day up and down the beach, relaxing, for about 6 weeks. It was a great thing to do. I'd get up, get my coffee, walk down to the beach, then walk about 2 miles down to a coffee shop, and had a good cup of coffee, had some pastry. Then I'd walk back to my apartment, which was on the 3rd floor looking over the ocean, and the beach was right down below. And I was able to decompress, and I made videos, and I sent those videos to my coworkers and friends at the time, and they go, "Mike, you're living in paradise." And I go, "Yeah, it's great." But after about 6 weeks to 10 weeks, I got tired of doing the same thing over and over again. I started to get lonely. I didn't have a steady girlfriend. I was getting a little bit bored with the same walk every day, the same coffee shop. And if you've been to Panglao, the grocery store that I would go to was Island City Mall. And I didn't have a motorbike at the time, so I would have to take a trike to the jeepney station, and then I'd take a jeepney into the city of Tabalaran. Once I got to the city, the little jeepney would take you to the mall, and you'd go shopping, and you'd get everything you need and go back. But that got really old after about the 2-month period, and I decided to go to Dumaguete and check it out. And I got an Airbnb, took the ferry over to Dumaguete, and I really loved the city. I was staying just outside of downtown Dumaguete and doing a lot of walking there because I still didn't have a motorbike. So my life was a little bit better there. Food was more reasonable. There were more places to go eat. Yeah, the beach wasn't there anymore, but you had a nice boulevard at the time, the coffee shops, and I was pretty relaxed. And the stress and the anxiety of working in the U.S. and living with all the bills and all the pressure from work, HR departments, they're a pain in the ass. And society was changing as a whole. And it just wasn't for me anymore, that woke movement or whatever you want to call it. It just wasn't for me. I'm an old guy. I'm used to the 60s and the 70s, where a man is a man and a woman's a woman. I didn't like it anymore. And I was glad I made the decision to come to the Philippines. Once I got into Dumaguete, I relaxed even more, but I had to find a place to live. So I contacted a girl that I knew online from back in the States, and she came by and showed me how to use the trike, because I didn't understand how the trikes worked. Were they like taxi cabs all going one direction? It was just all new to me. And just like a lot of you guys, you get off the plane, everything's new and different. And she showed me how to use the trikes. She showed me how to, what kind of money to carry smaller bills, don't always carry larger bills. And she helped me find an apartment. And I found a 1-bedroom apartment up in Talay, and it had a pool, and it was a nice place to stay. It was 16,000 pesos a month, just under $300, and only a 1-month security deposit, and it was a month to month. And while I was there, this loneliness takes over for you, and I've talked about this before. Even though you're having a great time, every morning I'd get up and get on a trike and go into downtown Dumaguete, have coffee with some foreigners, some people that I've met. I didn't have that girl with me. I didn't have that companion, the partner that I was looking for. So I got on Facebook. And on Facebook, I started looking at the girls and their profiles. And I was right across the street from a high school called Genobe High School. And as I was strolling through there, I found Janet. And the reason I found Janet is because she went to Genobe High School. So I said, wow, this girl must live close. So I contacted her. She messaged me back. She ended up working right around the corner from where I lived. After a couple days of chatting back and forth, we met, and as you all know the story, we're still together today. I don't know why she's with me, but I'm very happy that I'm with her. So my life has gotten much better now. I'm in the Philippines. I'm where my money is strong. I have a good partner that I found, and we decided that we're going to live together, and we look for a house to rent. Back in the States, you couldn't rent a house. You know, to rent a house in Las Vegas, Nevada was going to cost you, $1,500 minimum for a small place in a bad neighborhood, to up to $2,000, $2,500 for, a top-of-the-line house. So here in Dumaguete, where we were looking, we found a nice 4-bedroom house, 2 baths, fully furnished, a couple large-screen TVs, a nice-sized kitchen, and it was perfect for me at the time. So we rented it for 2 years. I signed a 2-year lease. I got a great deal, 23,000 pesos a month with 2 months security deposit. And the original offer was 25,000. So, but I, got it down to 2,000 per month. And I always figured that's going to cover my security deposit if I don't get it back. So I was happy with where we lived. Jan and I were developing our relationship. We were developing more friends. My life had become much calmer. There was no financial stress. There was no stress from, the government's bothering me. You got to have car insurance. Driving to work every day is a challenge, and being late. You can't be late to work. At least where I worked in a production factory, HR would come down on you. Oh, you're 3 minutes late. You get a point. You get so many points, you get terminated. So the pressure of working, getting along with so many different coworkers of so many different backgrounds was starting to bother me, because I like working in smaller environments. And as I got older, I'm set in my ways, and all that stuff bothered me. But here in the Philippines, there is no pressure. You tell somebody you're going to meet someone at 10 a.m. Well, it's around 10 a.m. You don't have to be there right at 10 a.m. Nobody punishes you for being late. Even meetings with, a realtor or a landlord, it's Philippine time. It's a much more laid-back situation. And that suited my demeanor very well. I was high-strung in my younger days. Got angry easy, arguments easy. Now that I'm in the Philippines, that stress is gone. I have decompressed. I'm happy with my life. I couldn't imagine a better point in my life at going on 70 years of age now. 20 years ago, I would have thought I was be in a nursing home by now. And I have a great partner. We live in a nice area of the city of Dumaguete. We travel a lot. So my life in review is so much better mentally. I don't have that loneliness factor that you have when you first get off the plane. You think you're not lonely, and you're meeting people one person at a time. But late at night, if you're living alone, it sort of gets lonely. It's good to have a companion to live in the home with you. It was in the U.S., I was single for 10, 12 years, and I lived alone in my apartment. And I was lonely sometimes, but I stayed busy with work, making money. But the pressure was always there. I'd get home and close the door, keep the world out. I want to live my life. And here in the Philippines, nobody cares what you do. Whatever your lifestyle is, whatever you like to do, as long as you're not hurting nobody. Nobody cares about your business. So the Philippines is a great place, and it has improved the style of life that I have tremendously. And as I go forward in my review, and I've met Janet, and Janet has a son, PJ. Having a girlfriend that has a son or a daughter, I think it's much harder with a son. The girls growing up have a different attitude. The boys are a little bit more spoiled, And it was a big transition for me, being single and alone, to having a girlfriend and an instant family, as you might call it. I made a lot of mistakes in the beginning, but as we grow in a relationship and we grow as a family, those mistakes have been forgotten, and we've moved on, and we've learned from every and all mistakes that all three of us have made in the relationship. I've learned how to ride a motorbike since I got here. Something I never could do in the U.S. Never wanted to, never tried, wasn't interested. But here, I bought a motorbike to get around, and I'm so happy that I know how to ride one. There's so many places I like to go, especially in Dumaguete. You know, we go to the beach or up to the mountains or ride into town. Janet hops on the back, and you know, we have a good time with our life, making a video now and then, going to meet friends for coffee. A subscriber might call, or a viewer will contact us, and we'll meet them at 10 o'clock in the morning somewhere. And our life is so fulfilled with friends and happiness. As you meet friends and you're here longer, your initial friends might change. You know, you might meet somebody in the beginning that's a friend, and then after about 4 or 5 months, you found that you really don't have that much in common. There's really not a good friendship bond. You can slowly grow away from that person, but you make new friends. And the thing is, with all these people, they all live their own lives, and we find time together to meet, you know, have a meal together or just sit down and talk. But everybody minds their own business, and this is the group of friends that I decided I want to have. You know, we talk about different things. It can be talking about YouTube, it can be talking about private school, it can be talking about the next motorbike, the cost of a car. It could be any subject in the world, even politics. But these are the people I enjoy talking with. I enjoy spending an hour or two with and talking and relaxing. And when I leave them, I'm not irritated. I don't feel anxiety. So a big key for you guys when you come here to the Philippines is friends. And it doesn't have to always be foreign friends. You know, you don't have to find expats and friends. You just have to find friends. And you need that in your life. And if you have a Filipina girlfriend or wife, when you meet an expat or a foreigner and you start talking to him, chances are he's got a girlfriend. And if the girls click, that's always a good thing. So good friends has made Jan and I more fulfilled in our life. So when you come here, guys, slow down, make good friends, worry about yourself, don't worry about other people, don't care what other people think, and don't think about other people and what they do. It's not worth the aggravation. If they're doing something you disagree with, just let it go. You can't change them, and it's just going to hurt your mental state. Loneliness, when you first get here, is a big deal. Even if you're hanging around people, the loneliness goes away when you find a place to live. And you have roots now in that community. You have a home that you go to every night. You have a place that's comfortable for you. And now you can start growing with your friendships, with your relationships, and your life. And with the stress, the financial stress gone, which is the number one reason for coming to the Philippines, is the cost of living. You know, the biggest savings is your rent. And that stress that you can live on less money here, it just takes so much stress away from you. I can afford so much more here than I could back in the States. I could afford a brand new truck. I sold a new truck before I came here. But the cost revolving around owning things, you know, the insurance, the registrations, all these costs are high. And going on Social Security, going on a fixed income. Here in the Philippines, I can afford a nice place to live. Living around here, the cost of living takes all the pressure off you financially. You can live here much better on $1,200 a month than you can in the U.S. So as my life has progressed since I've been here, I've been able to save more money, spend less money, and really enjoy my life and not have the pressure of the financial responsibilities, because I make plenty of money now. I make more money on Social Security than I would ever spend in a month. Everything is much better now. But reflecting my life, My life now with a partner, a lot of guys don't want to have a partner. A lot of guys don't want to have a wife. But the majority of people that I have met that have a wife and have a partner, they seem very happy. They're in a stable relationship. They're enjoying their time together. They do things together. They travel together. I've met a lot of single guys, and their life is fine too. You know, they found themselves a nice place to live. They date and enjoy their life. But I'm reflecting on mine. And I've been married before in the States, but here I am so happy with the marriage that I have. I have a wife that's committed to me. I have a wife that takes good care of me. The things she does for me as a wife, as a companion, as a partner, no girl in the U.S. would have done this. I shouldn't say no girl, but it would have been hard to find a girl that would do the same things Janet does to help me. You know, I get up in the morning, there's a place I like to go sit and have my coffee. Janet gets up before me. She sweeps the floor to that area so I don't have to step on anything. You know, she just makes sure it's clean. She makes sure it's comfortable. And this is 5 a.m. in the morning. So my life with Janet is great. And as we move forward, reflecting on how happy I am and how relaxed I am, I've been with Janet has made a tremendous impact on my feelings, on my mental state, and has just made me extremely happy. As we move forward in our life, we've decided to slow down in our life, stay more focused to our family, Janet, PJ, her immediate family, and just slow down and enjoy our life. You know, not so much in a hurry. Oh, let's hurry up and go here, and then hurry up and go here. No, we just go, and if we want to do something, we do it. If we want to stop and change our plans, we do it. And that's the key here in the Philippines. You're in control of your life. No one makes you do anything. Anything you do is what you do. You do because you want to do it. Don't live in a city you don't want to live in. Don't go places you don't want to go. Don't hang out in places you don't want to hang out. Find places you want to be, cities you want to visit, and go and visit them and enjoy your life. But in reflecting, would I have done anything different? The only thing I would have done different is, and I keep telling everybody this, I would have gotten in better shape and stayed in better shape. That's the only thing I would have changed. You know, everybody can use more money, everybody can use more income, but your physical health, see the doctors before you come here, start working out. Don't do as I do as I say here. Get in the best physical shape you can. The best thing that ever happened to me is standing right behind me now. I have never been happier than I am today in my life.